so keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked. That'll definitely do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are live. Welcome to the Dropshot, episode number 55. Wow. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined, as always, by my good friend Don Draper. Don, say hello to everyone.
Hello?
Do you not get the joke?
I have no idea who Don Draper is, so I don't get the joke at all.
He's the protagonist in the hit TV series Mad Men, where they work on Madison Avenue.
Don't care.
Okay. The reason, for the listener, the reason I made the joke is that Tanner made an old-fashioned. And, you know, I don't know. I thought it was good, but whatever. Suck me off. Anyways, today we have a very fun and exciting, both fun and exciting episode planned. It is continuing the questioned and answer portion, podcast episode, whatever, that we started last Saturday. So we got a bunch more questions. These are our favorite episode types, and I am very anxious to get into it. But first, a couple little announcy boys. Now, to start with, my pockets are hurting, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to advertise the Fire Patreon, and I want to entice everyone to joining the Patreon with a fun and exciting little clip here from our latest episode. And right now we're doing 2 episodes per month, but we're going to be increasing that to 4. Patreon.com/thedropshot, one word. $5 a month. That's it. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. And whenever you join, you get access to all the fucking old episodes. So first, I have a fun little clip that I'm going to make everyone watch now. So, class, if you could turn your attention to the screen, I will show you. So give me one fucking second here. Oh, wait, this is the wrong thing. Or wait, no, this is correct. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Do. All right, here we go. Let's watch. Tanner, what was your custom emblem?
So my first custom emblem was, so we used to always respond to people when they would, they would get pissed because we would.
I'm gonna be honest. This is 4 minutes. It's gonna take too long, but we're gonna skip a little bit.
I knew you were gonna end up doing that. Is too long to play.
Yeah, it's too long. It's too much.
As soon as I got the nuke, like I think it was that night or that next.
Raise the audio. Yeah, yikes. Yeah, this is so scuffed. Okay, don't care. I cancel. Abort. Anyways, whatever. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Go.
Just pay the $5 and you can watch.
Just pay the fucking $5. How about that? Go to the YouTube. There's a Dropshot clip section. One of the latest clip is called "This Emblem Made Kids Rage So Hard." It's a genuinely funny clip from the latest Patreon episode. We talk about custom emblems from BO4, and Tanner's custom emblem was my favorite emblem of all time. So I suggest you guys peep it, check it out. So keep that in mind. Next announcement here, Damascus Hangout is Friday the 21st, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So for the Damascus patrons, mark your calendars. Also a reminder, I was bullied into making a watch party channel, which no one has used once. So I might just delete it. I might also kick Salmonella from the Discord, in fact, for making me make this channel and then never using it. So suck me off, Sal.
I would delete it, yeah. It's shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sal. Shit idea.
Yeah, thanks, Sal. Okay, what else do we have here? iTunes reviews we're still going to be doing, but I'm moving that section to the end of the pod. So keep rating us 5 stars on iTunes. We're not starting episodes with it anymore. We're ending them.
Okay.
And then lastly, Tanner, any announcements on your end?
Yeah, I want to thank Barnsey for the offline sub and Goated for the offline 500 biddies. Fucking go. Thank you, boys. I appreciate that.
Let's fucking go.
And both are in the chat right now, so thank you, gentlemen.
Nice, dude.
Be
Nice.
here live.
Be here live as fuck. Thank you, boys, for supporting Tanner. What else do we have here? Series X fan with the gifty boy. Let's fucking go. Thank you, dude. And Pritch for the 1 bit. I'm gonna ban you. Suck me off. Anyways, without further ado, I'm very excited. I love these episodes, and I'm anxious to get into it. So if you were listening for the jingle, here it is. Sal's pissed. Get shit on. So normally we start every episode with playlist updates. In this case, there are none. So we're just going to get straight the fuck into it with the Q&A. Now, if you guys wanted to ask a question of us, the hosts of the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast, the hottest up-and-coming podcast in gaming, then join the fucking Discord. There is a Q&A section there where you can ask questions. And that's all you can do, by the way. Don't post answers. Don't chit-chat. Don't post memes. It is only for asking questions for this segment of the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast. So, without further ado, let's get into it. This first one is from C Brown 4222 to many numbers. Can someone explain how skill-based matchmaking works with quads in Warzone? Does it take the highest KD from the 4 players, or do they do an average of the 4? Or is it the party leader's KD ratio? Tanner.
I have no idea. I would imagine it's closer to being an average. I really doubt they're taking the party leader's KD only into effect, so it's got to be something to do with averaging them out. And skill-based in Warzone isn't nearly as strict as multiplayer anyways, so I don't think it really matters a whole lot. But if I had to guess, I would say it's more of an average. I don't think anyone has an actual definitive answer for this, right?
Yeah, so the short answer, C Brown, no one knows. They haven't told us how skill-based matchmaking works. With respect to parties, yeah, I really have no idea. I'm sure there are some pretty solid theories out there, but I don't know. The only thing that there's really a consensus on is that it's based on like your last 5 games performance. But whether or not party leader affects it and how, we don't know. So, you can Google it, look it up yourself. That you'll get more information from that than we can give you, unfortunately. And it's not our lack of knowledge exactly. It's more like, no, they've never told us how it works. So no one knows. So sorry, get scammed. Next question, Steel Switch. What is the one MDub feature that if it were to be included in the next COD I can't talk action. What is the one MDub feature that if it were to be included in the next COD Black Ops game would make you disappointed? On the other side of the coin, point out what is the one feature you would like to see be carried over. Tanner.
So I think there's a lot of obvious answers you could use here, like skill-based matchmaking, all the big ones people complain about. Mine is just something little, though. I would like, what's it called? I would like play of the game to be featured instead of final kill cam, because final kill cam is awful. So I think if they bring that to Black Ops, I'm going to be furious. Play the game is super exciting to watch. It's always like hype when you get a really dope play and they play it at the end and everyone sees it. So that was really fun in Black Ops 4. And would like to see weapon customization carried over. It's not really going to happen. I'm just talking about like more attachments in general. We already know the way they're doing like the gunsmith in this game, where your loadouts is some sort of hybrid between like pick 10 and like regular customization. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I just want like more attachments in general than the Black Ops games usually have. I mean, what did Black Ops 4 have? Some of the guns only had what, like 10 attachments?
About
12 at the
10
most.
to 12.
8.
Yeah. 8 to 12.
So I would like
probably,
to see more options. They did that really, really well in this game. Just unfortunately messed up some big things that kind of ruined it, or ruined everything else. But yeah,
Okay.
that's what I would like.
So that's a good question, Steel. So what is the one feature that I would not want to be carried over? Besides the obvious answer of skill-based matchmaking, which will be carried over, my answer would be the mini-map. I would be very disappointed if they continued to use this mini-map in the next game. That would make me deeply upset. On the other side of the coin, what is one feature I would like to see carried over? The gunsmith, and that's it. It's the only good feature about this game. There's no other good features about this game. I can't think of another one. Maybe you could say the microtransaction, the way they handled microtransactions, which is to say all weapons are free when they're added in the Battle Pass stream. You don't have to buy Battle Pass. You don't have to buy a loot crate or whatever. That would be great to see carried over as well, which I think it will be. But besides that and the gunsmith, there's nothing good about this game. So one of those two things. If I thought a lot more, I can maybe think of one or two more, but those are the things that come to mind right now. So mounting K. Okay, MP.
Any mounted gamers?
Unsubbing AFK. Next question, Mr. Salmonella. When's that OnlyFans getting off the ground asking for a friend? K.
Damn.
Well, we're gonna release, or excuse me, we're gonna film our first OnlyFans video in Big Bear, so stay tuned. Next one is from Gotham Assassin. Change it. If you were building a new PC and had a limited budget, would you spend more on the CPU, like a 9900 or 9700K, and get a slightly cheaper GPU, like a 2060 over a 2070 Super, with the idea that you'll upgrade the GPU later, or would you just get the 9700K and maybe a 2070? Okay, too many examples. So I'm going to boil this question down. If you're building a new PC with a limited budget, would you be more inclined to spend more on the CPU or on the GPU, Tanner?
I would definitely do GPU. Like for your example here, between like a 9700 and a 9900, the difference in terms of gaming is going to be very minimal. Like you almost won't tell a difference. Whereas like the difference between a 2060 and a 2070 Super could be huge. I mean, that could be the difference of anywhere from 20 to 40 frames, whereas a 97 versus a 99 may only be 5 frames or something. So that's definitely where I would spend more money. That may change a little if you're streaming. I guess not, because either way you could use NVENC with those, like his examples. But yeah, I would do GPU.
Yeah, 1000% agreed. If you have some kind of discretionary budget, you want to lean more toward GPU than CPU if you're gaming. Having a really nice CPU, I mean, it's good for a lot of things, but at the same time, it's not going to impact your performance in the game very much, unless you're playing like MMOs, which are more CPU intensive in general than shooters. But for Call of Duty and shit and most other games, you want to lean more toward getting a nice GPU over CPU. Now, with that said, you may want to spend more on a CPU if it's the difference between an older and a newer model. And the reason for that is that they often have different socket types. So you don't want to get an old socket type requiring you to buy an old motherboard, because then you can't upgrade that CPU in the future because your motherboard is an older socket type. So whenever you buy a GPU, you can always upgrade it without having to swap your motherboard, as long as your power supply is sufficient, which it probably would be anyway. But like, if you wanted to get a new CPU, which required you to get a new motherboard, that is a giant pain in the ass. And an expensive pain in the ass. So I would say get a newer CPU, but not necessarily the nicest CPU you can afford. Just get like the newest CPU socket type you can afford. And then the rest of it should go towards your GPU. Go ahead.
Yeah, because then another thing on that is you don't want to go like super cheap on the CPU and then get like a really good GPU. Because then you'll just be throttled. Like one of the guys I work with, he just upgraded from like, oh god, like a 6th or 7th gen Intel processor, and he has like I think a 1060 or a 1070 GPU, and he upgraded to the same CPU I have, the 3900X. And he said he's getting 50 frames higher in Warzone because I was holding him back because it was so shit, and his video card was like, you know, an average gaming video card. So, yeah, we could talk about this for hours, but that's where I stand. Spend a little more on the GPU.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tanner. Thank you for bringing that up. You definitely don't want to get... They should both be like comparable in quality because you don't want to bottleneck yourself on either end. If your CPU is terrible, it doesn't matter how good your GPU is, and vice versa. So you don't want to be bottlenecked in either case. But yeah, so keep that in mind. Claptimus with the Submarino. Let's fucking go. 4 months with a 4-month streak, dude. Thank you, Clap. And thank you for your 9,000 gifted subs at twitch.tv/Razinon. I'm honored, humbled, and privileged, and I do appreciate it. Intel or Ryzen? I think lately lately Ryzen is the move, right? No cap?
Yeah, I mean Intel's technically still better for gaming, but for like the price difference you pay for it, it's kind of not worth it. But if you just want like strictly like to say that you have the best gaming processor, then that's usually Intel.
But the difference is pretty small.
The difference is very minimal.
Yeah.
For the Intel, you may pay $100 more to get literally 1 to 3 frames higher. So
probably yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, next question here. Cross Dick, change it. Who would win a 1v1 on Shipment and Verdansk? Boba Fett versus Master Chief from Halo. Okay. Tanner.
Yikes. Boba Fett wins both of them, I think.
Really?
I think he takes the cake. Yeah, dude.
Yikes.
What do you mean, yikes?
Well, Boba Fett is a clone with a cool Mandalorian suit of armor, but he's, for all intents and purposes, a normal-ass size dude. He's an athlete, but he's just a guy. You know, just some athletic guy. And now when we talk about John Spartan 316, also known as Master Chief, he is Spartan, first of all. He's like 7'8". He's genetically modified. His skeleton is made of like carbon fiber titanium alloy.
Oh boy.
He's
Why'd you
got
ask this
energy
question?
shields that regen, by the way. So the answer is obviously Master Chief. Read a book.
No, my answer is don't fucking care.
That's the correct answer. So yeah, thanks for the question, Cross Dick. Change it.
That's why I said Boba Fett. I figured that was an easier answer than actually trying to think about it.
Oh, well, I'll keep that in mind. Next one here is from the real Tucker Carlson, disgraced Fox News host. If the VLK helps with recoil stabilization, it doesn't. How do we know that all the other 50 optics don't have stealth effects? I've only heard of the VLK. What about the rest? Don't you think it's strange that only one optic has this weird stealth effect? First of all, effect with an A is the verb. Effect with an E is the noun. Read a book. Second of all, it doesn't help with recoil stabilization. It helps with recoil control. Read a book. But nonetheless,
such a dick.
Tanner, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Tuck, fantastic question. I've seen this brought up before. Absolutely, other optics have effects. And I would love for Ace or somebody to spend hours researching this, but I don't think enough people care for them to spend all that time. Like they would rather see like, I don't know, little changes in Warzone or some shit like that, or, you know, small hidden changes. For him to go through every single optic, that would take a lot of time to do and put together like videos. So absolutely, I do think there's some shit with the other optics that we don't know about. And you know, it would just be nice if they would have released the game and like told us what everything actually does, you know, and not change things without telling us.
You know, Tanner, I agree with you, but the problem here is that even Infinity Ward doesn't know what the attachments do. Obviously, they just don't know. They just don't know what's going on. They add these things in, and they just fucking roll the dice and say, "Let's hope this shit works." So, Tuck. Yeah, we don't know that all the other optics don't have stealth effects, but I think you're actually kind of misunderstanding the problem. It's not only that we don't know if the optics have stealth effects, it's that we don't know if any of the attachments have stealth effects that we don't know about. I mean, the Merc foregrip had been in the game since beta, and we didn't learn that it increased your movement speed until a month ago. So how long did that take us? 7-8 months for us to find one stealth effect with one weapon attachment.
True.
There is 100%. There are 100% other attachments that have other stealth effects that just no one knows about, and has not been discussed at all. So yes, I think it is safe to assume that other attachments have other hidden properties. Or how about the longer barrels give you a tighter hip fire spread? How long did that take to get discovered? Months. So I think it's inconceivable that we've discovered all of the hidden changes. It's almost certain that there are, in fact, other stealth effects that correspond to certain attachments. But like Tanner said, no one cares enough to test this, nor should they. This game is going to be, first of all, the effect probably isn't that big of a deal, because if it was, it would have been noticed by now. And second of all, this game is shit. And third of all, this game will be dead when COD 2020, Black Ops, Red Door, Vietnam, DevGru, Mac VSOG, Vundy Bop Edition 2020 comes out.
You forgot to say Cold War.
I forgot to say the actual title, which is Cold War.
You forgot to say, yeah.
So yeah, it just doesn't matter. Don't care. You shouldn't worry about it. That's what I would say. So keep that in mind. But thank you for that. That is a good question, Tuck. So thanks, dude. Pork adobo, 1,000 biddies. Let's fucking go. Hell yes, dude. Pork, welcome back, brother. Pork is like a mullet-proof mute 2.0. Doesn't talk much. Gives me too much money. So, Pork, thank you, dude. I appreciate the support. As always, brother, honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. And Tartar Bits with the Gifterino. Fizz XI or XL. Don't know what it is, but here's what I do know. You guys all need to go follow two people, actually. So we're going to start here. So the guy that Archduke Tartar just gifted a sub to, his name is Fizz. He is extremely good at this shit video game. Go follow him now. Second of all, Tartar himself, the Archduke, streams as well. So make sure you're following him as well. But thank you, Tar. Appreciate you, dude. Honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. Aussie Menace, yeah, I don't know, brother. It says you're subbed here. It's weird that it's not working for you. Get scammed, actually. Actually scammed. Yeah, sorry, dude. I don't know. Good luck, though. But yeah, Pork, Tar, thank you, boys. I much appreciated. Speaking of pork and adobos, our next question is from Steel Switch. Is a Chipotle burrito considered fast food? Tanner.
Actually, a great question. I think it is considered fast food. It
Okay,
is.
Tell me more.
I mean, so some of the locations actually have drive-throughs. Did you know that?
I did not. Interesting.
I feel like if it has a drive-through, that's considered fast food. Although
1,000%.
the drive-through, wait,
Okay.
the drive-through is only for picking up online orders. So let's have a discussion about this. If you place an order online like that, drive through to pick it up, but you can't go up to a window and order it, is that fast food? I think it's fast food. I think Chipotle is as far as you can get from fast food, but still being fast food.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I have to agree with you. So first of all, here's where my bachelor's degree in philosophy 4.0, Cal State Long Beach, by the way, president's list 4 semesters in a row, comes in handy. If we're going to talk about whether or not Chipotle is fast food, we have to define our terms, and we have to unpack the question. What does it mean? What does fast food mean?
Let's look up the actual definition.
Now, when we think of McDonald's, everyone agrees that McDonald's is fast food. What does that mean? Number one, it has a drive-through. Okay. Number two, it's cheap. Number three, what is number three? I mean, how is McDonald's different from like Fleming's? You can drive through. There's one. It's way cheaper. 2. You don't typically tip. I think that's a big difference between fast food and a restaurant. You don't tip at a fast food place. You don't tip at Jack in the Box, typically. But if you go to Fleming's, you tip. Now, you could not tip because you're a cunt, but you typically tip. So is Chipotle fast food? Well, there's no drive-through. And by the way, if you order online and then you drive through and pick it up, that's not a drive-through. A drive-through is you start and finish your order in the car.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chipotle doesn't have a drive-through. But it is cheap. A waiter does not come up to you and ask for your order. You order at the counter like an asshole. I think that's another big fast food
like an asshole
criterion.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
So I have the actual definition here. Let's read this.
Okay, go
Fast food of relating to or specializing in food that can be prepared and served quickly. And then it says designed for ready availability, use, or consumption, and with little consideration given to quality or significance. Interesting. So they hit the mark on the first one because it's prepared and served quickly.
True.
The second one, though, they definitely, have some quality. It's not just fucking McDonald's or something. They have some sort of quality.
Sure. Sure. Another thing is that fast food is not made to order. They just always have that shit ready. Although Wendy's supposedly is made to order. Well, but they're definitely fast food, right?
Does Wendy's really say that? Do they have the fucking audacity to say that?
They do, actually, yeah.
Hey, any Wendy's employees in the chat or listen to the podcast, DM us.
Yeah, please let us know. Yeah, we can get to the bottom of this. Like fucking Vice. Yeah. The Vice guide to Wendy's burgers. Yeah, for sure.
We'll touch on this next Wednesday if we get that answer. My answer, though, is it is fast food.
I would have to say yes, it's fast food. It's fast food. It's closer to McDonald's than it is to fucking Islands.
Yeah.
So
the chat is saying Wendy's is pre-made.
Yeah, of course. Hashtag fresh never frozen. Okay. All right. This next question is for Don Draper here. Unpure Pepsi asks Tanner, what is the best AX50 setup?
So
Tanner?
I don't know. I think my setup's kind of weird, actually. My setup is for like quick movement, quick ADS. So my current Warzone one is tactical suppressor, the 32-inch barrel, tac laser, the ADS stock, which I think is assassin, and then stippled grip tape. So all of the things to just ADS quickly. and pretty quick movement speed. So that being said, I am going to try a new setup tonight, I think, if I end up sniping. I'm going to try out monolithic 32-inch barrel, tack laser, and then I'm going to try 7-round mags and stippled. See how that goes. Because often I'll miss a few shots, get a tag, and then the guy's running in the open, and I have to reload, and then he gets behind a building, and I never am able to get the kill. So I'm thinking the 7-round mags may help with that. I'm also wondering if I actually tell a difference with the monolithic suppressor. I'm absolutely sure I won't, but I'm going to try.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, so let me let you guys in on a little secret, because a lot of you listeners tag me in the Discord and ask for gun setups. Let me answer everyone's question. What is your blank setup? Oh, happy to answer. Tactical suppressor, long barrel, extended mags, stippled grip tape, and the fifth one is up for debate. It's either Merc foregrip, Commando foregrip, a sight, or ADS speed stock. That's the class for every gun. So keep that in mind. It's not difficult, guys. We've had this game for fucking 8 months. Anyways, the next question is from a person. Okay, change it. What do you think is the best weapon to pair with an HDR or a Rytech AMR? And I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this person, is referring to Warzone. So if you have a Warzone loadout and you're using an HDR or a Rytech AMR, both of which are sniper rifles, what you pairing with it, Tanner?
Definitely an MP5. I used to run with my AX50 a Grau or an assault rifle. And I started running MP5 with it. I like that a lot better because you can switch to that and your movement speed is super quick. You can run around the map, get to those buildings. But I definitely started leaning towards SMG to pair with a sniper.
Okay.
Because I mean,
go ahead.
What? What do you mean? No. What do you mean? Okay.
No,
what was that
finish.
okay for? No, I'm done. I'm done.
You'll hear.
I'm done.
What it's for.
Let's go.
No, go ahead.
You stupid bitch. No, I'm done.
Okay.
I've never been more done.
Okay. All right. Fucking. I was trying to think of a Tamara would have been a good one. I was going to call you a feminine name, but it sounds kind of like yours because that was a very effeminate response. That was the joke. Doesn't matter. The best weapon to pair with a sniper in Warzone is in fact an SMG, but it's not an MP5. It's an MP7. You want to have an SMG that can do better at medium range than an MP5 can. MP5 just doesn't have that much range. And even if it did, which I don't accept, then it doesn't have the magazine capacity to actually get a down at range. MP7 is perfect for this reason because it has 60 round mag, no recoil, so you can hit shots that are very far away. But it still has the very fast ADS time, very fast movement speed, very good hip fire accuracy that you want out of an SMG when you're in very close quarters. So I agree that if you're using a sniper, you can use an AR, but I wouldn't. I would use a sub. So like if you have an HDR, you've got your very long range covered. And then if you have an MP7, you have your medium and your close range also covered. MP5, you'll have your close range covered. Your medium range is kind of sus though with an MP5. So I would say MP7. I think that's way better.
Well,
maybe like an AUG, I guess. But I typically don't like the AUG. It's not reliable enough for me. The ADS speed is too dog shit. So what else were you going to say, Tanner?
I honestly don't remember. I don't think anything.
Okay. Well, that's my
I like the MP5. Just rush, dude. Stop camping and you don't need an MP7.
Well, what if you're in the field, dude? You're in just an open field. You can't rush.
Use your sniper then.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Hit your shots.
Just hit your shots.
Hit your shots. Just hit
your shots, Keck
Don't
W.
miss.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, this next one is from Tuck, the real Tucker Carlson, disgraced Fox News host. If skill-based matchmaking is as strict as they claim, then how does anyone get a 2.18 KD? Shouldn't everyone have a KD that is close to 1.0 since you're playing against people that are the same skill level? In the top skill bracket, how do they all have KDs that are 2 to 3.0? That doesn't make sense to me. Mathematically, that doesn't seem right. Okay, this is actually a very good question, and I'm very happy to illuminate the listener, because this is a good question, actually. Like, this is actually, no cappuccino, a very good question. Tanner, go ahead.
It is a good question. I don't really know how to answer. The only thing I can think, I mean, the amount of people with like KDs that are above like 1.5, 1.75, it starts going down a lot. So by the time, if you have a 4.0 KD, you're playing in the same lobbies as somebody who has like a 2.0 anyways. And then, I mean, even our lobbies, we'll play in lobbies where you're just against dog shit enemies. I mean, do you remember we looked a long time ago, because it was when all this stuff was coming out about the YouTubers doing the reverse boosting. Like, we looked at a few of our lobbies, and the KDs were substantially lower than ours. They weren't as low as, you know, a Korean Savage lobby. But, you know, like my KD at the time was maybe like 2.15, 2.2, and we would still have people in our lobby that were 1.1 or stuff like that. It's just, you know, if you have a 1.0 KD, you're likely getting people all the way down to like, you know, a 0.4, a 0.5. So I just think once you go up higher in KD, the amount of players just decrease. And so you're playing against those shit players. So then those guys are still keeping their KDs. Then the way it's technically works is it drops you down a lobby. And so then you're playing against worse players again. And then you're raising your KD. So I don't know. I'm interested to hear Razinon's thought on this, though.
Yeah, well, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. So, first of all, if you have a 2.2 KD, for example, Tuck, as you said, 2.2 KD is like 99th percentile. So that means that if you look for a shoot the ship lobby at exactly 7:43 p.m. right now, and you're in the 99th percentile, there aren't enough people at that high of a KD that are queuing for shoot the ship at exactly 7:43 p.m. to fill that lobby. You're just not going to find 12 people with that high of a KD. So when you get that high, as Tanner said, the bracket will widen to accommodate that, because it's not going to just have you sit in queue all night looking for other players that are 2.1 to 2.3. That's mathematically, that's not how that works. So the farther outside of the norm you are, the fewer people there are like you. This is the case on the low end and on the high end. So there just simply aren't enough players that have a 2.2 KD for any one of their matches to be comprised of entirely 2.2 KD players. Because there are plenty of players who have a 2.2 KD. There are millions and higher, but they're not all queuing. They're not all awake at the same time, queuing at the same time for the same playlist.
Exactly.
It's mathematically impossible, number one. Number two, as Tartar said in chat, the skill-based matchmaking is also based on your 5 most recent games. So when Tanner, with about a 2.2 KD, is getting his Riot Shield Damascus, his lifetime KD might be 2.2, but his last 5 games KD was 0.3.
Yeah, that's bad.
So he's going to be in a dogshit skill-based matchmaking bracket, because it bases where he'll be placed when he queues next on his last 5 games. So the KD disparity is going to be huge. He'll be playing with players that are terrible, and he'll be way better than them, but he'll also be using a Riot Shield. So for those 2 reasons, yeah, that's how that works. It's a great question, though, Tuck. That's actually a really good question. That's a big brain question to even to think of that. Because yeah, like common sense would dictate that everyone should have a 1.0 KD, because everything is pushing you toward because skill-based matchmaking pushes you toward the middle. But yeah, for those reasons, that's not quite the case. So keep that in mind. Next question here is from Steel Switch. If a madman breaks into your room while you're gaming, what item on your desk or within arm's reach would you grab to defend yourself with? What would do the most damage? Interesting question. Tanner, your thoughts?
I mean, if we're talking like right this second, I think the only answer is my handy dandy Yeti 26-ounce Rambler bottle with a straw lid attachment in Tahoe blue, discontinued color. I think I can smack somebody over the head with that. That would do the most damage. I mean, I have this glass cup here right now.
That looks like Laguna Seca blue.
But I would realistically just stab myself in the hand when I crack him over the head with it. And then he'd just shoot me in the back of the head, execution style, in real life.
In game, of course.
In game, of course, though.
Yeah.
But yeah. Shit, I don't have anything around me, dude. You got me thinking now. I'm nervous.
Okay. Well, we're going to move on. My answer to this is very simple. Within arm's reach, I go right over here. This is why I always have that thing on me, dude. I'm always packing. So I don't know if it's TOS for you guys to see my my Glock that's on my desk.
Yeah.
I don't have a Glock, but I do have this knife.
Fake news.
So I just bust this thing out and just start fucking jabbing kids like I'm
Jesus.
John
In-game.
Stryker Meyer. In game, of course. Just, But yeah,
Jesus.
this knife. I have this on my desk to open boxes with, by the
That's
way.
a shit knife, by the way.
No, it's not. This is a nice knife, dude.
Hold it up. Let me see it. What brand is it?
Hey, why don't I bring it to bear and I'll show you how fucking shit of a knife this is. You
Yeah.
stupid bitch. Then we have a home invader and you're sitting under your fucking bed, whimpering, shaking.
No. Oh, I'll bring a knife and we can compare.
Not only will I defend the cabin, I'll vlog it while I do it. Here's what I'm going to do.
I'll bring a fucking knife. How about
I'm going to have a phone. I'm going to have my phone in one hand vlogging. Here's me vlogging. And then this is going to be me right here. Home invader getting shit on. Twitch.tv/Razinon live every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then I'm going to put that on the YouTube. How about that?
Yeah. No, we'll compare knives.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes for you.
Razino sus, Kappa Pride, but we could compare knives.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
We could stab each other with them too.
I have this to open Amazon packages, boxes. I don't expect anyone to break into my house. Honestly, if someone broke in my house, I have a dog. I have a husky called Jax. Named Jax. What am I, English? Named Jax. Who would defend me, hopefully. Kaylee, welcome. Been a minute. I'm role-playing, Kaylee. I'm role-playing a home invader. So. What do we have here? Next question. From Dropshot's #1 Aussie, J Pritch. It says it right in his name. Would you rather have legs for arms or arms for legs? Tanner.
Oh, man. Legs for arms. I would rather have arms for legs. Confirmed. I mean, I could sit all day.
Yeah.
I would like to have my arms, my hands, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, this
That's
is
how I feel.
Yeah, this is so Pritch, this is a dumb question to ask us. You know my lifestyle. What do, Pritch? I wake up, I move I'll give this to you in metric since you live on that fucking prison colony, Australia. I get up from my bed and I move about half a meter to this chair, and then 16 hours later, I move back a half meter into that bed. So why the fuck do I need legs? So obviously it's arms for legs. So then I can still snap on kids with my arms like the fucking demon on the keys that I am, dude.
Oh my god.
So keep that in mind. Next question is
I
from...
like how you use a metric for him. That was my favorite.
I had to, dude. I had to.
Yeah.
so you could understand. Gift Curse, the banned one. Change it. Piggybacking off my Aussie mate here, would you rather have no arms and have legs, or no legs and have arms?
No legs, have arms.
Yeah, we've answered this. So, okay, Gift. You both disgust me. I want to be clear here. Pritch and Gift, you both disgust me. You should have known the answer to this. Thank you for your questions. Next one is from Archduke Tartar, Call of Duty royalty. This is a good question. Would you rather have Syrian's aim or game sense so like awareness is what he means by game sense, so on point that you almost have wall hacks? Tanner.
Syrian's aim. I don't have that nutty, snappy aim that brings in the viewers. I mean, if I had wall hacks, essentially, that'd be great. But I mean, if I had shit aim or average aim, you know, it may not help that much. But I would want to have that nutty aim where I can just flick all day long and just hit my shots every single time, just never miss. That would be really fun.
Yeah.
Wish I was that good, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, 1000%. Syrian's aim is the correct answer for two reasons. Number one, it brings in the girls or the viewers in Twitch terms. Number one, obviously. Number two, it's actually more helpful. Like if I had my aim right now and I had permanent wall hacks, I would definitely do better than I do now. But if I see 8 people running at me from behind a wall, it doesn't matter if I see them or not, I'm dead. Like, it'll give me some more time, but I'm still fucked. I'm still fucking dead. Whereas if you have really good aim, like Syrian aim, you can find yourself in like shit positions and you can just bail yourself out because you're such a fucking snapping god king. So I think definitely having really good aim will be better for sure than really good game sense. So that's my answer to that. Good question though, Tar. What's up, Al? How's it going, dude?
Damn, big booty hose in the chat, by the way.
Gabriel Saul Perez is here. What's up, dude? Gabriel Saul Perez, Lyman Avenue, Covina, California, 28. Yeah, not for much longer. He turns 29 in September. 28-year-old Hispanic male, Covina, California. What's up, Gabe? Next question here. Silent but sticky. Thinking of moving away from amped perk.
Wait. That's not a change it, really?
That is a change it.
That's not a change it. Okay,
That's
thank
a
you.
change it. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. I have to pee so bad, so I wasn't thinking. So anyways, action. Silent but sticky. Change it. Thinking of moving away from amped perk to using spotter. Thoughts? I use a Car 98 and an MP7/RAM/FOW. Okay. Also thinking about trying high sense. High alert is what he means. Instead of ghost. I feel like I get ambushed from behind more often than I'm spotted by a UAV. Now, Tanner, like I said, I'm going to wrangle my huge white cock out of my shorts and then piss into my toilet with it. Go ahead and take this question in my absence. I'll be right back.
Okay. I got to do the same thing when he gets back. So if you're using 2 guns, you absolutely need amped perk. I don't think you kind of get used to how quick amped makes you change your weapons. And then once you switch to a different perk, you notice right away, especially if you use a C4, amped is almost completely necessary. I think you can just toss them so much quicker. So spotter, I would not run. If you're going to switch it up, I would maybe do like tune up or something and run dead silence or stopping power, depending on the game mode or the map. Now, if you're not using overkill, then amped isn't as important. I mean, yes, it's still fantastic for the C4, but if you're not using overkill, I guess you could get away without it. And I would run tune up in that case. Spotter, I think I don't know. Spotter's a waste, I think. Because I mean, even if you start, well, I don't know how to explain it. So like there could be people all over the map, but you still don't know because you're not running in the direction where they've been. So you're not seeing their footsteps. So it doesn't always matter a whole lot, really. I think it's a waste. And you're thinking about trying high alert instead of ghost. High alert's really good. That's one of the first ones I use when I run specialist in multiplayer is high alert. Again, that depends on the game mode. I like having ghost for certain game modes. High alert is also really good though. And you feel like you get ambushed from behind more than you get spotted by UAV. Yeah, I would try high alert then. I mean, maybe, not to shit on you, but maybe your game sense isn't that great or something, or, you know, you're just an average player, and so people are getting behind you, and you're getting killed from that way, you know, the most. If you notice that, which obviously you do, that's a good thing, then I would try running high alert. See how that works for you, because it is a very good perk.
All right. Thank you, Tanner. Go ahead and pee.
Okay.
I will answer this question myself. So, Tanner, like Tanner said, if you're using overkill, which it sounds like you are, amped is probably certainly your best yellow perk. The reality is none of the yellow perks are very good, but amped is the best one for sure. If only for the C4 usage. But it's also nice because, like, when I switch to my pistol, so amped doesn't increase your swap to pistol speed, but it does increase your swap from pistol back to your primary speed, which is important. And it also, again, greatly increases the speed at which you throw that C4, which is super important as well. And another reason that amped is good is, like, even if I'm not using overkill, I'll swap to my pistol to run to, like, the middle of the map, and then I'll swap back to my primary. And amped makes that swap faster, that second one, from pistol to primary. So it makes me more liable to switch to the pistol for the increased movement speed, because I know I can get right back on that primary insta. Spotter's good, but I think amped is better, especially if you're using a C4, number one. But you can try spotter. Here's what I would say. Try spotter, you're going to miss amped, and then you'll switch back. So my opinion won't matter. Number two, high sense instead of ghost, high alert instead of ghost. I wish you had told us what playlist you're playing on, because that matters a lot. Like for like ground war or something, high alert might be better than ghost. But for sixes or something, I would never get away from ghost. High alert's very good, but so is ghost. So it's hard for me to recommend that. But with perks, dude, it's easy to just you know, experiment. So, you know, just try this shit out. See how well you do. And you know, if you notice you're doing better, then, you know, keep it. And if not, don't. But overall, I use amped and ghost because I think they're the best for sure. So that is my answer to that. Next question here is from Big D Daddy. Change it. What are some tips for pissing out of a massive white penis? Get penis reduction surgery, because I'm like fucking Sisyphus, dude. Read a book. I just have this constant burden, and I would not wish it upon my worst enemy. So thank you for your question. Next one is from Sniff Sniff Hambone. Change it. Absolutely change it. What is your favorite smoked meat? Excellent question, Tanner.
My favorite smoked meat is making pulled pork. So, you know, pork shoulder, pork butt, whatever you want to use, bone in, obviously. That's my favorite. Because one, it's dirt fucking cheap. You can get them at Sam's Club. This fucking huge chunk of meat for, you know, $12, $14 here. I mean, other things, ribs are really good, but for the price you pay to make pulled pork sandwiches or something, it's so good and so cheap. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Interesting.
Raz wouldn't know. He doesn't smoke.
Okay. I don't, but I buy smoked meats all the time. I don't like pork that much, to be honest with you. You know, I just don't like it. I don't know why. Like, the pork that I do like is very limited. Bacon, I like, obviously, because I'm a capitalist. And baby back ribs, especially in a Texas crutch. You put anything in a Texas crutch, I'm gonna fucking eat those up, bitch. Don't at me. But anything else, pork related, not a fan. I don't like St. Louis style ribs. I don't like pork shoulder. I don't like sausage.
Interesting.
I'm just not a pork guy in general.
You're not a porker. Okay.
Okay. ACAB. Joking. So
Sheesh.
actually joking. I respect policemen. I'm not a fucking anarchist. Not that that's necessarily anti-police, but this isn't fucking part of the problem with Dave Smith, so I'm not explaining anarchy to you. Read a book. So, my favorite smoked meat is easily, far and away, brisket. 1000%. I fucking love brisket, dude. There's this place, Tanner, by the way, called Butters or Butter. I think it's called Butter. It's on I
know what it is.
It's across the street from that church where my grandma died. F's in the chat.
Wait, she died at the church? That's where the funeral was.
Neither. She went to the church.
Okay.
But she died in a hospital like a civilized octogenarian.
Okay, as you're saying.
As I was saying, the place is called Butter. What street is that? Is that Arrow? Or is that
Bonita? It's on Bonita.
Yes, it's on Bonita.
Yeah.
It's on Bonita and doesn't matter. Anyway, they have the best fucking brisket sandwich, dude. It's a breakfast sandwich. It's like it's on like nice bread. There's brisket, and then they put like cheese of a kind, but it's not bullshit cheese. It's not like American or cheddar cheese, like some kind of fucking rube. It's like nice cheese. It's like it's not Gouda. It's brie, I think. I think it's brie. Like melted brie. It fucking slaps, dude. It's so good. Strongly recommend.
Interesting.
Strongly recommend. Everything at that place is good. But their brisket sandwich is my favorite, far and away.
I don't know about that. Joey worked there for a while. Do you know that?
Really?
He did.
Interesting.
He was.
Dude, there's so many hot chicks there. Did he
may have
fuck
been
the whole
fired.
staff?
He very well could have been fired. I know he was not
For
a fan
trying to
of.
fuck the whole staff?
Well, could have been.
Could have been.
Is Gabriel Saul Press still in the chat? He'll know if he got fired or quit. Gabe is still in the chat, supposedly. I think he got fired, but he hated it anyways, so keep that in mind. So did Hannah. Hannah worked there.
That makes sense. Anyways, brisket is the answer. Thank you, Sniff Sniff Hambone. This next one is from OGC Chupa. Don't know what it means. Also change it. What are the odds that they fix the lobbies for the next Call of Duty? I mean, I enjoyed playing against people for a couple of rounds. Getting to know people and make friends or rivalries with the lobby system they have now is just not possible. So I'm going to translate for you guys if that question doesn't make sense, because it doesn't. When OGC X Chupa, change it, says, what are the odds they fix the lobbies? I think what he means is, what are the odds that after a game, the lobby stays together moving into the next match? That's what I think is meant here with fix the lobbies for the next COD. So, because right now, as soon as a match ends, the lobby's broken up and a new one is formed every single time. So what are the odds that we go back to the old lobby system where the lobby stays together after the match, Tanner?
So if there's no skill-based matchmaking, the odds are high. If there is skill-based matchmaking, it's not going to happen. I think that's probably the answer. I also liked when we kept the lobbies, because exactly like you were saying, like you formed rivalries against people, and you would shit on a stack a few times, they would win once, you guys would keep battling, and then eventually they would leave, and we'd just call them all pussies. Oh, they didn't want to lose again, they're fucking pussies, so they left. That was fun. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen with skill-based matchmaking. That's the reason they don't stay together right now, pretty much.
Yep. I made this connection actually live on twitch.tv/Razinon, live every Wednesday and Saturday, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. The reason that they stopped doing lobbies this way, Chupa, is because skill-based matchmaking. If they're taking your last 5 games into account to generate a lobby where everyone is equal skill, then they must break up the lobby after every match to reevaluate the skill-based matchmaking and then reform the lobby. So the reason that lobbies don't stay together is because of skill-based matchmaking. What if you invite your friend in an existing lobby? Well, now the algorithm's fucked. So instead, how do they circumvent this problem? Dissolve the lobby every single time. So what are the odds skill-based matchmaking is going to be in the next game? 100%. What are the odds that lobbies will stay together after a match with skill-based matchmaking? 0%. Therefore,
Well, I wouldn't say 0.
I would. I'll bet you money on it, just like the stadium being open fucking 8 months ago, you dumb bitch. Absolutely shit on.
Okay.
But I would say 0%. Yeah, there's no way, Chupa. The lobby system you enjoyed is gone. So, keep that in mind. What's up, Max? Hey, Max, suck me off, dude. Is Max going to Bear? Tanner and or Gabriel? Because if he is, I'm going to show him the meaning of Chuck Norris.
Jesus Christ, dude. Come on.
That's in-game, of course.
In-game, of course.
So his next question is from Toadredme, a.k.a. Krim. COD 2020 is rumored to have skill-based matchmaking. It will. Ideally, there should be none. There will be. But what if the skill-based matchmaking was based upon your overall score per minute in certain modes? Do you think it would have an overall positive effect? Tanner.
I think it could have a positive effect. I just think the lobbies would get really weird because you got to think like, so think of all the big streamers you watch, you know, Siri and Nate Gibson, TGD. How many of them play the objective? Almost none. They just run around snapping on kids. So, I mean, their score per minute is going to be basically just based off their kills because they don't play the objective that often because they're trying to get nutty streaks going. They're getting nukes. They're not playing the objective. So does that mean they're going to be in a lower tier lobby as a guy who's like, you know, a 1.5 KD, but just plays the objective all the time? Because if so, those would make for some weird fucking lobbies. I mean, not that skill-based matchmaking doesn't make for weird lobbies, but I don't know. I almost feel like if they're going to do any sort of matchmaking other than just strictly connection-based matchmaking, that I don't know. I think they may as well just stick with skill-based if that's what they have to choose between.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The lobbies would just be strange. I mean, I guess in that sense, they'd also be more normal because you'd have people with KDs that are spread apart based on more if they play the objective or not. But then, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird to think about that being a thing.
Yeah. So, okay. If the skill-based matchmaking was based on your overall score per minute in certain modes. Okay. So, kind of like Tanner said, like you can be I think it would be better. I think it would be better than whatever the skill-based matchmaking is now. For sure. Because people with lower SPM generally are either really bad or they camp. So if you camp and your KD is 5, you could have a low score per minute because you camp and you play so conservatively. Or if you constantly run and gun and your KD is 0.5, you could have an identical score per minute because most of the time you die, but every once in a while you get a kill. So I guess you could make lobbies of that kind. I think in general, it wouldn't be that stark of a contrast. So I think it would work better, but, I don't know. And it's hard for me to answer this because no one knows what the current skill-based matchmaking algorithm is. Because there's probably an element of SPM in the current skill base already. We just don't know to what degree or how much, etc.
True. Yeah.
You know?
Good point.
So
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, it's just hard to compare what this proposed system would look like compared to what we have now. But it couldn't get much worse. So I almost want to say, like, fuck it, let's try it, dude.
Yeah, good point. Can't get much worse.
Yeah. So, real quick, VMR with the 1,500 biddies. Let's fucking go. What's up, dude? Long-time listener, first-time watcher. Didn't know what Twitch is/was. No idea what bits or biddies is or subs. Shocked to learn people just throw money at you guys during the episode. Good for y'all. I'm old. So
I'm old.
So not 30 seconds after he said he was shocked that people throw money at us, what does he do? Throws money at us with the 1,500 biddies. So VMR, thank you, brother. Honored, humbled, and of course, privileged, sir. And welcome. Sending bits out of the countless hours of content you guys give me while working. Best of luck. Much
Hell yeah.
appreciated, old man. Very kind of you. I'm glad you've been enjoying it for real. The support does mean a lot, dude. And I appreciate it. By the way, Twitch is a cool website, V. If you enjoy video games and shit, and you listen to a Call of Duty podcast, so you certainly do, I would suggest that you peruse the website. But thank you, V. I'm honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. It means a lot, dude. Thank you. Pritch with the gifted sub to VMR. Let's fucking go. And now, oops, we have Young Douglas, aka @ModernWarzone on Twitter. How many followers does Young Douglas have now?
Let's do a follower check.
Let's do a little. Any follower checks in the chat? Any follower checks in the chat?
Almost 87.5.
87,500 followers. Clouted the fuck up, Young Douglas. With the 6 gifted subs, let's fucking go. 7 gifty boys total at twitch.tv/Razinon. Young Douglas. Wow. Thank you, dude. Honored, humbled, and of course, privileged, brother. Much appreciated. Much love. I'm glad you got unbanned, by the way. Still don't know how exactly, but we'll talk. Don't worry. Yeah, make sure you guys follow Young Douglas on Twitter @ModernWarzone, of course, and on his Twitch stream, which I've conveniently shouted out for you in the chat. You have as many subs as me now. Dope shit. Wow. Wow. So this guy's going to come in here, gift me subs, and then flex on me. And say, oh, hey, dude, I deign you to have as many subs as me. You stupid bitch, Doug. You stupid bitch. But absolutely scammed. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. Congrats for yourself if you have fucking 400 something subs, dude. That's awesome. On some real shit, dude. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Doug, I was joking, dude. Relax. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool for sure. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Of course, honored, humbled, and indeed privileged. And yeah, once again, we will talk soon. I'm very curious what your conversation with Twitch was like to get yourself unbanned preemptively. That is interesting. But thank you for the subarinos, dude. Much love, brother. @ModernWarzone on Twitter. Follow the fucking man. So next question here is from Tier. He says, how often should you drop shot? Tanner.
Well, it's kind of hard to say how often you should drop shot. I do it pretty randomly. I don't think I do it as much as I should. I feel like Raz may actually do it more than me. If anything, I jump around corners or slide around corners more often than I do a drop shot or something. I'll kind of just throw it in occasionally. If you're in the same lobby and you do it, like if you attempt it like more than 3 times, they're gonna catch on, and you're just gonna get shit on. So it's kind of something you only have to do, you know, between like 1 to 3 times per game, I think, or until you just keep getting shit on every time you try it. But mine is usually like I'll run around a corner or something. They were already pre-aimed. They're shooting at me. They have to be within close range. Typically, is when I do it. Like, you know, 10, 15 meters, and I'll usually just drop to the ground and fucking spray them down. But I don't think you can really put a number on it. I would just say attempt it until they catch on and they start aiming lower and then shooting your body and teabagging you at the end.
Yeah. So how often you should drop shot? I don't think it's My answer is very different from Tanner's. I think it's not dependent on how often you've done it in a match or anything. I think it just depends on the circumstances. So like Doug said in chat, I think he would kind of hit the nail on the head. If you're like 1v1, drop shotting's really good because it makes you, because it's unpredictable and it makes you more difficult to shoot for those 200 milliseconds or so.
Just kill him faster.
Okay. So if you're 1v1, you can and probably should drop shot, typically. If you're 1v2 or 1v3, absolutely do not drop shot because if you're a stationary target, you're gonna get fucking destroyed from multiple people. So the only advantage of drop shotting is that you shrink your hitbox, but the disadvantage is that you move way slower, obviously. So you should drop shot if it's 1v1, and then if it's 1v2 or 1v3 or 1v8, do not drop shot. That's what I would say. But experiment with it. Try doing it more often than you're doing it now, and then see when it's working for you and when it's not, and then you'll kind of get like a almost like a muscle memory, like an intuition about when you should be doing it, when you shouldn't. Because these days I never have to think about drop shotting. I do it before I think about it. So
that's also kind of why it's hard for me to answer this question, because I'm like, I almost don't pay attention. Like it is just something I do occasionally. I don't know why I do it. It's just I'll do it every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of just have to get in the habit and just, like I said, just do it more and more. And once you start getting destroyed in that lobby, then stop. Oh, he just said in chat, I do it almost every time. Well, that's absolutely way too often.
Yeah.
So cut
That's
that at least in half. At least, and then start there, I would say.
So Tyr, if you're doing it almost every time, here's what I would say to you. If you see more than one enemy on your screen, do not drop shot. If you see only one person, continue drop shotting. That is my rule of thumb for you for now. And once you operate in that way for a while, then you'll start to get a better intuition for when you should and when you shouldn't be doing it. But yeah, almost every time, there's no way that's correct. There's no way. So next question is from Dubfire33. Do you foresee a time in your life where you might give up video games for good? Interesting question, Tanner.
To the question, at this point, absolutely fucking not. I don't know when it would be. And I think Raz and I have had this conversation at one point, maybe. Kind of just talking about how it's right now, if like, you know, if people above 40 are gaming, you know, some people look at that negatively. I don't. But I think as like our generation grows up, that's going to be more and more normal. And when people like are in their 40s, 50s, and they're still gaming, I think that's going to be completely normal. Because the amount that gaming and like esports has grown in the last 2 or 3 years is fucking crazy. I mean, you see like, oh, who was that guy? He was the CEO of some big company and he just left to join Blizzard. Oh, what was he a part of?
Was he Nike?
Oh shit, what was that?
I know. I saw
thought
that
it was
too.
something like
Go
like
to
a
Charlie
Walt Disney
Intel's Twitter.
CEO.
Go to Charlie Intel's Twitter because they wrote an article or retweeted one. Oh yeah, some exec from like a multinational super fucking Fortune 200 company. Yeah.
Here we go. He was a Major League Baseball executive.
There you go. Yeah.
So somebody from the MLB came over to join a gaming publisher. So that's happening more and more often. So as of now, hopefully never, right? Hopefully never. But like when I looked at this probably when I was 16, I would have never thought I was even still gaming at this point. Because back then, like, not many people were PC gamers that I knew. Everyone was on console. I was a nerd for playing on PC.
Still
so, you know,
are.
So I just figured it wouldn't last that long. And when we got to this age we're at now, that we just wouldn't be gaming anymore. So
yeah,
it's just becoming more and more mainstream. I mean, even my brother-in-law, he has a child and he's married and he plays Warzone every single night. Stays up till fucking 5 a.m., 6 a.m. some days playing, so figure that one out.
Yeah.
And he's a grown man and an adult.
Easy. Yeah. So, okay. So, Dub, let me first address what what you've implied here and what some assumptions you've made in asking this question that I want to repudiate. I'm not going to give up video games unless I just stop wanting to play them. So like societal perceptions of me will never impact any decision I make ever. Certainly not fucking gaming. So if people think, oh, you're a loser for playing video games at fucking 75, don't care. Couldn't care less. That has always been my personality. It's not something I logicked myself into. I've just always been this way. Don't care. Fuck everyone. That's always been, I'm very disagreeable in that way. So number one, it sounds like there's some implication that like, hey, you're going to look like a loser if you're gaming at 40. Don't care. So will I give up video games for that reason? Absolutely not. Now, it is possible that there will come a time where I'm no longer interested in playing video games, but it wouldn't be me giving up video games. It wouldn't be like some fucking thing like, oh, I'm done now. Like I'm going to uninstall Steam and then there's going to be some fucking ceremony and I'm going to like be baptized in the fucking church of normalcy. Like that's not going to happen. Like if I ever stopped gaming, I would just gradually lose interest over time. And then I would just wake up one day and be like, hey, I haven't played a video game in a while. That's all that would happen. I wouldn't give them up. I would just gradually lose interest. Now I don't see that happening, but maybe, I don't know. I mean, my relationship with video games has changed a lot as I've gotten older. I mean, back in the day, Tanner and I, you remember Tanner, we talked about this maybe 5 days ago. I used to be able to, when I was a boy, I used to be able to wake up on a Saturday, sit down and play one game for 16 hours, 18 hours, all day, no breaks, eating at my desk, and then go to sleep. I can't do that anymore. Not because I feel like I'm a piece of shit, but because I'm not interested in doing it.
Yeah.
I don't have I don't have the capacity to care that much about a video game anymore. I just don't. Once I've been sitting here for like 5 hours max, I'm like, I want to do something else. And when I was younger, I would be able to play for longer without having the urge to stop playing. But now I just can't. So, you know, my relationship with games has changed a lot as I've gotten older. Could it change in such a way that I'm no longer interested in playing? Sure. I don't see it happening though. Because there are a lot of games right now that I would love to play that I just don't have the fucking time to. So if I was older, retired maybe, I had way more time, you know, and I had dog shit reaction time like many of you fucking boomers listening, and I was not having fun playing COD anymore because I'm a slow, dumb piece of shit.
Jeez.
Not that you guys are, but if that happened to me, would I go play hardcore? Maybe. Or I would go play some of these fucking JRPGs or fucking never play Fall Guys, but some other like, I don't know, RPGs, an MMO again. MMO PvP, you don't need reaction time for typically. Some abilities
True.
are off the GCD, but most of them aren't. I could do a lot of things. So no is my answer. I don't, but I wouldn't be surprised if I stopped gaming. So,
I mean, yeah, I've gone through phases where I like don't feel like playing for weeks. That actually happened at the end of Black Ops 4. Remember that? You were still playing and I'm just like, no, like I don't want to play this game anymore. I just want to wait for Modern Warfare. I went probably 3 weeks straight without playing that game, which was weird considering we had played like at least 5 days a week for the previous 6 months. But yeah, other than that, dude, I've never really taken any like long breaks. I mean, even if it's sometimes I'll get bored of like multiplayer PC games. I haven't recently, but and I'd switch to like Xbox games and just play single player things like GTA, stuff like that. But that hasn't happened in a long time.
yeah.
I mean, like for me, it's just like some people watch TV. Like this is what I do. I don't care about watching TV.
Exactly. That's the thing. So yeah, and like Tanner was saying earlier, which was such a good point, it's like if we look outside ourselves now at like older people, we could make this error. We could say, well, there are no 60-year-olds playing video games right now, or very, very few. That must mean video games don't appeal to 60-year-olds. I would say wrong. Actually, those 60-year-olds that exist in 2020 did not grow up playing video games. So the 60-year-olds of my generation in 32 years will be a different generation who will have grown up playing video games. So instead of fucking watching the real Tucker Carlson, disgraced Fox News host, instead of doing that to fill their time and as like their kind of like recreational hobby or activity, many of us will be fucking gaming, dude. I don't see that changing for me. I like active hobbies. I like actually engaging my mind, even recreationally. I don't watch Netflix very often, if ever. That's just never been my thing. If I'm going to just fucking waste time, I'd rather do it on a video game.
Yeah.
So then the question is like, are you ever going to change your time wasting activity from the thing you've been doing for 22 years? No, probably not. I don't see how that's going to happen. Maybe, but I doubt it. So, great question, though, Dub. You old bitch. Next question here. Steel Switch. Could the destructive environments in such games like Battlefield and Rainbow Six Siege work in Warzone? With destructive elements, players hiding in buildings or behind objects would be forced to move around. Explosives could cause holes to open in walls, creating new lines of sight. I know this is not one of those games, but I think it would be at least interesting. Great question, Steel. Tanner, what are your thoughts?
So the first part, could it work in Warzone? I don't think it could work in Warzone, due to the fact that with consoles, you know, they're already running this game at what, 50 frames per second. If you add in that map and destruction, they're at 15 frames per second constantly. That being said, I do love the destruction in the Battlefield series and Rainbow Six Siege. I think it's awesome, but I don't think it would work on a Warzone map. I mean, Battlefield has the big maps, but it's still not as large as the Warzone map is. It'd be really fun though, dude. It's just never been in a Call of Duty game. I mean, Battlefield's been doing that for what, maybe like 6 years now or something. It would be fantastic to kill all those dumb campers. I mean, you know how fun it would be to take down those buildings in downtown?
Just put like satchel charges on every wall. Yeah, I know.
Just destroy the bottom of it so it fucking crashes down like the Twin Towers. Rest in peace.
F's in the chat. George Bush did 9/11 in game, of course. I don't know if that's TOS to say. NSA suck me off. So any DARPA executives in the chat? I'm done. Okay. Sorry. Has there ever been a battle royale with destructive environments? Because that would be a super interesting dynamic that I don't think any BR has had. I don't think Fortnite kind of. Besides Fortnite, we'll address Fortnite in a second. But besides Fortnite,
I can't think of any. PUBG, can you? No, all you can do is like shoot through walls in PUBG.
There's PUBG. What are the big BRs? PUBG, Fortnite, Warzone, Apex, which no, you can't destroy environments there. It's pretty much it, huh?
H1Z1, you couldn't destroy the environment.
Yeah.
I don't think there has been. Yeah, I mean, you could say Fortnite, obviously, because you can literally destroy. I mean, hey, you can just go up and smack the trees and destroy them. But in terms of like driving a tank around and putting a round into a building and blowing a huge hole in it, no. Like in Fortnite, you just take down the entire wall when you smash it with your pickaxe. But no, like you're not throwing grenades or, you know, in a helicopter shooting things and destroying buildings that way. So I don't think there has been. That's super interesting. I think that would be really fun for a developer to make that. I don't think I'd want to see that in a Call of Duty game because, one, I don't believe they could correctly make it happen.
That's the main thing for me.
But yeah, that would be I think that could be a really good BR, actually.
Yes. So, okay, Steel. Fucking excellent question. And a really good question, a really interesting thing to think about. Could it work in Warzone? So, if we were to assume that Activision could pull this off, I think it could work in Warzone. The reality is they can't even write fucking patch notes, so of course not. Of course they couldn't do anything like this in Warzone. Because Activision or Infinity Ward don't really know who you can blame for this, probably both. They can't do anything correctly. They can't even release a patch without breaking their weapons, right? So it wouldn't work in Warzone or any Call of Duty in the next 5 years. We would need a new development team. Maybe not a new development company, but we would need a new set of employees under that same umbrella. Number one, technically speaking. Now, assuming that Activision and Infinity Ward were competent, which they are absolutely not. I want to be abundantly clear. If they were competent, could destructive elements work in a Call of Duty battle royale such as Warzone? I think that would be a fucking cool idea. I really like it, actually. Especially with how many buildings there are in Warzone and how big of a problem camping is. I think if you did allow for destroying those buildings, making camping a lot more Monka-esque, I think that would be really cool. Really cool. So yes, I think it could work. I think it could be great, actually. Exactly like Battlefield's what I'm envisioning. I think that would be fantastic. But don't fucking hold your breath for this to happen in a Call of Duty game. It won't for at least 4 years. And even 4 years from now would be early, actually. It's so outside of the scope of Call of Duty's publisher and development teams capabilities. It's so far outside of that. But that's a great question, and that would be really interesting to see. The next question here for Tanner. What is yours and your wife's story? It's not common for people our age, 28 years old, to be married, so I'd love to hear about you two, how you met, how long you've been married, and all of that. Also, is she a fan of the pod? I love to hear that Mrs. Modern Warzone is tuned in on the background when young Douglas is on. Tanner, go ahead.
Okay, so our story, so we actually met, so I went to private school from kindergarten to 8th grade. Gabriel saw Perez in the chat, also went with me. So when it was time for high school, my parents were like, hey, we're not paying for private high school. Fuck you, go to public school like everyone else. So I went to public school knowing literally one person. And she was actually the very first person I met and interacted with. She was the first person I met and interacted with other than my one friend that I had going to that public school.
Who was the one friend you had?
His name was Josh. I knew him because it's nobody you know. But yeah, so on the very first day of high school, like we were waiting outside our math class, and this girl, her friend at the time that I had done like tennis lessons with that summer, like went to like the same like tennis group thing. She was like, oh, like I know him from this. So she's like, oh, let's go up and say hi. So she was literally like the first person I interacted with. So what the fuck? Hold on.
What? Is it fucking up again?
No. My fucking computer is being weird. I think we're getting hacked, dude. I think our mainframe's getting hacked. So anyways, so we stayed friends all throughout high school. So that was 2006, 2010. We were like good friends. We never like dated or anything though, but we like hung out. I gave her rides home all the time. Things like that. But actually, so we had this pact thing senior year, right? I've literally, it's so funny. I've never told anybody this story in my life. She may have, but I've never told anybody. So we had this pact at one point, and we were like, I remember like where I was in my room when we texted about it. And we were like, if we're both still single in 10 years, like, let's get together or something like that. Cause we were like really good friends, so we talked all the time. So we were like down. And then she was like saying something. She was going to ASU. I was going to community college because I'm a dumb shit. Didn't graduate, by the way.
Isn't that
So
like
she
the
was
biggest
like-
party school on earth?
Yes. She didn't want to go. Her mom lived out there. Her mom was like, no, like we'll pay. I want you to come out here and live here. So she's like, okay. She only went there for a year. But anyway, so she was like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to ASU of Virgin. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
And so then I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, I mean, like we can fix that, blah, blah. You know, I was flirting. And I was like, yeah, like I'm down. I'm a virgin, dumb shit little white boy too. So let's figure this out. So it was the dumbest thing. So we had like open 6. So I got off school at like 1 o'clock that day, and I had to work at 3, right?
Okay.
And we like talked about it ahead of time, and she's like, my parents aren't going to be here. So I was like, oh, like I can like come over.
Classic.
So I dropped her off, got nervous, drove all the way home. She was like, I thought you were going to come inside. Of course, she texted me after because we're dumb and in high school.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. So I start work at 3. I drive back over there like 2:30. So I like go in the house, and I was like, oh shit. Like, are we going to bone right now? Like, that's what the plan was,
Did you bring
right?
condoms?
Of course not. Of course not. So we... Well, fucking course not.
Fantastic.
Any raw
Good.
doggers?
I knew
So-
that was the answer. I just wanted to make sure everyone else did.
So we went up to the bedroom, blah, blah, nothing happened. We like sat on her bed and talked. And then I was like, whoa, fuck. Like, why did I come over this late? I have to be at work like right now. Like literally right now. So we walked downstairs. She's like, oh, okay. So she was like sad or whatever. I was like, yeah, my bad. You know, it was
Wait,
like
did she
super
say
awkward.
I thought you were gonna get in my guts, and then you were
No.
like, sorry, I have to go to work, and then you just left?
It was like super awkward. I was like, I need to go. Like, I don't know. Like we were just like talking and hanging out on her bed, and I was like, I need to go. So we walk outside, or we walk downstairs. She opens up the front door. We both glance out. She fucking slams the front door. And I was like, what? She's like, my dad's here. I was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, no. And then I go to reach open the front door, and she's like, no, I'm serious. My dad's walking up right now. So her dad, her stepmom, and one or two of her little brothers were walking out. And my heart was just fucking beating.
This is
I was
so
like, oh
funny,
shit.
dude.
I was like, what do we do? She's like, go out through the back door. So we ran out through the back door.
You didn't even get pussy, by the way.
I didn't. So we ran out through the back
escaping
door.
Her house from her dad.
Well, he
boy.
was like super strict at the time. He doesn't care about anything the kids do now, but of course, like she's the oldest, so
I
he was
get
super
it.
strict.
It's
and,
just
and
funny
the other
that
one,
this is like
yeah.
a story. It's like you would put up with this if it was worth it, but in this case, it absolutely wasn't. That's why this is so funny. But anyway, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. So then we were like on the side of the house, like hiding, and I was like, oh shit. And she's like, when I tell you, just like run to the street and then just start like walking and acting like you were walking on the sidewalk, and then go to your car and leave. So I was like, okay.
Kids
So
are
I
so
like-
dumb, by the way.
Yes. So I like gave her a hug. They walked in and she was like, go, go, go. So I ran out, got in my car, left. I was like, I'm not kidding. I'm
Like
never
SEAL
late to
Team
work.
6. She's doing
I-
hand signals.
Bro, I'm like never late to work. I was fucking like just unannounced 20 minutes late. Just showed up like 15, 20 minutes late. No reasoning behind it. I don't even know what I told them. I was super late.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
It was funny. So anyways, that was awkward. We like nothing happened after that. We graduated high school. She went to ASU for college for 1 year. Ben and I actually went out there
Did
to
she
a
go a
sorority.
virgin?
Yeah, she did.
You disgust me.
Well,
It worked out,
It's
I
fine.
guess, but still.
so Ben and I went, or so then I don't remember how exactly the timing, but basically, like her friend, talked to me. Her roommate at ASU was like, "Do you like her?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, I guess. Like we've been friends forever." And she's like, "Well, she likes you." And I was like, "I mean, you're dumb. You're lying." But yeah. So basically, she came home one time from ASU. We started talking, and she was like, "So like Devin talked to you, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then it's just like real awkward, and it was like, nice mug, by the way. I like you just holding your mug with the label out. But so she was like, yeah, and then like we talked, we kissed in my car.
Were you
then,
playing
like-
Bon Iver in the car?
Jesus Christ, I don't remember what I
CD?
was playing.
Yikes. I bet she
I
does.
probably wasn't playing anything. I was probably playing Screamo. I was probably playing The Devil Wears Prada or Under Oath or something, actually,
Slipknot.
or As I
Fucking
Lay
Before
Dying,
I forget.
something like that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, so then like she went back to ASU. She still like finished that year. Ben and I went out there for a sorority party once and like stayed in her room with her. Which was strictly against protocol, but we did it anyways. Ben and I both slept. They had like bunk beds there, so Ben and I slept in bunk beds in her room. So anyways, yeah, so we started dating in 2011 officially. And then, yeah, we dated for a pretty long time compared to most people, and got engaged in December of 2016. And then we got married in 2018, March of 2018. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. And she absolutely does not listen to the pod, and I'm glad she doesn't. I mean, every time I get off, she asks me about it, and I talk to her about things and keep her updated. But I don't know if I could live in the same house if she listened to the pod, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That is fascinating. I didn't know any of this, by the way, chat listeners. That is fucking funny. I love that story of how you snuck in her house and then you had to leave. Like, listen, we've all been there. I've done that 2 times that I can.
You?
Twice that I can remember.
Well, he's a virgin.
But okay, but the difference is it was worth escaping in terror at the point of a shotgun. In my case. That's why it's so funny, is because like there was no, like you went through all the fucking the labor without any of the, without it being worth it. Jesus Christ, that's so funny.
Yeah, but so after 1 year at ASU, she moved back. She was in like a sorority and everything, and she was like, I fucking hate this. She
doesn't seem like a sorority type, honestly.
It was basically her mom was like living through her, and she's like, oh, like go to college, join a sorority. And she's like, I mean, I don't want to. And she's like, no, like we'll pay for it. I want you to like socialize and make friends. So she was like, okay. I think she almost got kicked out like 3 times because she like didn't pay her dumb dues and whatever they have to do. She didn't go to the event. So
yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting. That's fucking hilarious, by the way. That is hilarious. How many more you want to do, young Tanner? Is our boy Itch ready? I'm thinking we could do a couple more and then.
I mean, I'm sure he's absolutely not ready.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on here.
I'll be in contact with him.
We'll be in contact. So this next question is from Poisonous Frog Connoisseur. Okay, Itch, if you're down to run after this question, what do you think, Tanner?
It's the end of the page. Yeah.
We could do more.
Damn, we just have so many questions.
Yeah, there's a ton.
Still.
There's a ton. So I'm chilling. If you want to keep going, I'm fine. But if you want a game
let's do this in the next page. So let's do 4 more questions.
Okay, great. So this next one is from Damascus Impaler for both of you. What is your favorite video game based movie ever? It can be based on real or fake video game, don't know what that means, and can be a story based on a video game or based on playing a game. I'm deeply confused, Tanner. You might need to help me. Also, what game, if any, would you want to see something done with movie-wise? Examples, not an exhaustive list: World of Warcraft, Pixel, Gamer, Assassin's Creed. So my preamble to this question is, Tanner, do you know what the fuck is being asked here?
You know what's so funny is I was reading these questions, some of these questions beforehand. I scrolled over them. I read this, and I thought the same fucking thing. I was like, God, I hope Raz knows what this question means, because I don't. Because here's the thing. I can't think of a single video game-based movie, because I don't really watch movies. So I don't know. I feel like it's usually a movie first. No, I guess not. I guess it would be. It's like Tomb Raider 1.
Ooh.
There's not many. They're shit, regardless. Whatever the answer is, they're shit.
They had Angelina Jolie when her titties are still huge.
When they were triangles in the game.
Oh, in game, of course.
Have you seen that? Yeah. Have you seen those? It's
Yes,
so funny.
Okay. So, here's what we're gonna do, Damascus, because I don't know what the fuck you're asking. So, what is your favorite video game based movie ever? So a movie based on a video game. Tanner, what's your favorite one, if you know any?
I can think of one, and it's Tomb Raider, so I'll say that. I did play the old Tomb Raider games. I remember we used to go down and rent them at the Blockbuster. That was in the Target parking lot down there. You remember that? By the Philly's Best?
Yes, absolutely, in San Dimas, yeah.
It was where that like Dollar Tree or some shit is now, or Five Below. Yeah. We used to
the
go to
Philly's
that
Best
Blockbuster all
is
the
still
time.
there, and the Target's still there.
Yes. Yeah, but so I rented Tomb Raider there a few times, I remember. So I guess I'll say that because it's the only one I can think of.
Okay. Okay. All right. So second part of this question. What game exists that you would like to see a movie based on? So if there could be a Call of Duty movie, etc.
I actually like this question, and I would say this would be a fucking amazing movie because the video game was essentially a movie. Red Dead Redemption, easily.
Ooh,
That would make such a good movie.
That's a good answer. That's a real good answer.
You play the video game, and like Ben and I talked about this when we were playing it. I was like, dude, it's literally a movie also. It's a movie and a video game. So if they translated that to real life, I think they could actually make a great TV series
what about
out
Red
of that.
Dead
Like,
Revolver? I played Red Dead Revolver.
well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like the whole series that follows those lines. I think you can make a whole like HBO like mini series on one of those where they'll do like 6 to 10, hour-long episodes or something.
Right.
I think that would be amazing. So that's what I would love to see.
Interesting. So, all right. So let me try and tackle this. Okay. So if you polled every 28-year-old American, I would be in the first percentile of number of movies watched. I do not watch movies almost ever. I've watched fewer than 100 movies in my entire life. Actually, I hate watching movies.
Jeez.
It is a massive investment of my time, and it often does not pay off. Let me give you guys a great example, dude. I watched The Village by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong when I was younger. And the movie was fine, I guess, until the spoiler where there's no like scary thing at all. It's just this fucking asshole putting on a fucking Halloween costume and scaring everyone else in this cult. And I was like, wow. When that revelation happened, I was like, wow, dude. I've just wasted 2 hours of my life that I'm never getting back. And I had this conscious thought at that moment. I said, I'm done watching movies because this was just a robbery of my time. An absolute highway robbery. Now, to be fair, I think the plot of The Village is a lot more interesting and actually cool and good than I thought it was when I was fucking 13 years old and it came out. So I don't think this is a product of the quality of the plot of the movie The Village by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. I actually think that plot is super interesting, and I think it's actually more interesting that the cult leader was wearing a Halloween costume than there actually being fucking werewolves in the forest or whatever the fuck. But the point still stands that there are often movies that are just a massive waste of your time. So I stopped watching them. There are documentaries to watch. There are books to read a book. There are podcasts to listen to that are far more interesting and valuable and good uses of my time where I don't want to watch a movie. So to answer your question, Damascus, I've never seen a movie that's based on a video game, ever. Didn't watch Tomb Raider, don't care, never will. And I've never watched any movie based on a video game ever, nor will I, because fuck movies, number one. Number two, what game would I want to see something done with movie-wise? My answer before Disney took over Lucasfilms would have been Knights of the Old Republic, the best role-playing game of all time. It was turn-based, doesn't matter, still a great game. But after that, hard for me to say, because now Disney would fucking just botch it. So I don't really know. I think maybe it would have to be a movie based on a book, and the book was called Hatred. No, it wasn't called Hatred. Excuse me. What was it called? Fuck me. What was it called? Hold on.
That's that video game.
That is the video game, and there's a reason I thought of that. Any Freudians in the chat? Hold on. Doing some research here. That was not Stephen King's first book. Oh my god. This fucking website is such dog shit, dude. Dude, I read it in one sitting, bro.
Yikes. Any nerds?
Richard Bachman. What was Stephen King's first pen name? Some of you guys will know this, dude. Actually, none of you will. Of course not. You guys have never read a book in your lives. Oh, dude, what is it called? Anyways, whatever. I'll think of it after this. Stephen Bachman, I think that might be it. Yeah. Okay, let me look this up. Rage. I think the book is called Rage. Let me see. Rage. Yep. Rage. Okay. So my answer, this isn't a video game. It's a book. It's called Rage. It's about a school shooter. It was written in 1977. He took it off of the shelves because 3 school shooters died with this in their lockers. And then Stephen King was like, I swear to God. Stephen King was like, I might have a problem here. You know what? Here, stupid bitch. I'll link it in the chat for you. Go to the connections to actual school shootings page on that Wikipedia article. I think Columbine, those kids, one of them had it in their locker. And then he was like, maybe I should not have this on the shelves anymore. This was a fantastic book, pretty short, 200-something pages. Read it in one sitting because it was so good. It was so interesting to me. I would like a video game based on this, where you embody a school shooter and you just start extrajudicially assassinating your fellow minors in game, of course.
Jesus Christ.
I would love to see a video game like this because
This
it's
is
dark.
fucking nuts.
It's dark, dude. We have all this Pollyanna, happy-go-lucky, fucking skip through the forest, dumb, fucking hippy-dippy bullshit in
Any
pop culture.
sociopaths in the chat? Yeah, seriously, jeez.
In pop culture today. And it's boring. It's exhausting, dude. Hey, how many times do I need to watch The fucking Notebook, dude? I don't care. This is not interesting to me. Or Jersey Shore. Or fucking, what's the dumb Entourage. This shit is dumb. It's not interesting. There's no depth. There's no grit. There's no darkness. There's no sadness. There's no tragedy. It's boring. It's vacuous. It's shallow. And I hate it. I want to see something with some real fucking meat, dude. That's why I like the John Strucker-Meyer podcast. Because it was dark. It was real. Those things are actually interesting. Not fucking whatever. I don't know. Pick your example. But anyways. I didn't answer your question. Don't care. Get scammed. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, that was a rant and a half right there.
It was. Sal, have a good night, dude. Thank you for the 30 bits, by the way, brother. Watch American Psycho. I did watch American Psycho, and it was pretty good, Pritch, actually. I also watched The Notebook, and I bet all of you can guess why.
Did you watch the Lord of the Rings movies?
I watched most of the first movie.
Okay.
And then fell asleep. So
Okay.
I read The Hobbit, though.
So you like TV series, though? You just don't like movies?
Yes, because I can watch an hour, and then I can decide there if it's worth investing more time into. So, for example, Low Cap recommended I watch The Arrow on Netflix. Now, if that was a movie, I would have said no, because I don't trust Low Cap, and for good reason. Because since it's a TV show, I watched the first episode on Netflix, and I said, oh, this is terrible, and I'm not going to continue watching it. So I stopped watching it. But it didn't require 2 hours investment to come to that conclusion. So.
Wow.
Anyways. Low Cap, you did recommend that show. Don't lie. Correct, Pritch, obviously. Pritch is an adult, so. This next question here is from a person. What do you think about a Warzone mode where there are fewer squads and zombies spawn in at the end of the first gas zone that drop money and lots of ammo? Teammates also respawn for free every once in a while. Don't know why you added that last little segment, but basically Warzone with zombies. Tanner, your thoughts?
I think it'd be fun. I mean, the zombies aren't going to camp like the players are.
True.
No, I think that'd be fun. It reminds me of like H1Z1, dude, trying to raid bases and getting attacked by zombies and stuff. I think it's fun. There were so many rumors that they were going to add something like that to this game, weren't there? It's like there was shit like that.
I think we had a theory that was not based in much evidence. It was very speculative.
I'm trying to think if H1Z1 Battle Royale had zombies. I want to say it did have zombies for some period of time, and then they were taken out. But yeah, I think that would be fun, actually. Fewer squads. I don't know if I'd almost want the same amount of players and add some zombies in it as a limited time mode, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to play that permanently, but I think that would actually be a fun LTM.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm with Tanner. Having zombies is another element of like chance that I don't want to have to put up with. It's enough chance where the ring ends up, whether you're going to get fucked or not. I don't want another layer of like luck involved with like, oh, the zombies are closer to me than this guy, so I lose. Like, I'd rather not. It could be a fun LTM, but yeah, it's like a core game mode. Absolutely fucking not.
Absolutely fucking not.
So thanks for your question, person. This next question is interesting, and I'm curious what Tanner's thoughts are. This is from disgraced Fox News host, the real Tucker Carlson. He asked, "Hey, daddy gang, don't ever say that again. I met a cute brunette at the downtown mall. Doubt it. We hit it off and eventually ended up ice skating together." I have so many questions. "I got her number and we went out on a date. That night I brought her back to my apartment and we started to make love." Virgins say make love. "But she insisted that I eat her ass out." Okay. "I declined and she got upset and left. Is this a common thing for girls to ask for? How do I decline something like that without ruining the mood?" So I have two questions. Number one, do you think any of this is true? And number two, how would you answer the question?
Okay, we know it's not true. It's Tucker we're talking about here.
Exactly.
I would answer the question. I mean, hey, if she hasn't showered for 3 days, no, I'm not going to say eat her ass, you know?
Okay.
Oh, geez. Okay. But if it's been within hours, 4 hours or something, I would say abso-fucking-lutely. I don't know if I'd go. I've never attempted longer than that. I don't know. I have no idea. I just can't imagine doing that after like a fucking day or two.
Here's the difference between me and you. I've never asked. I just go in. I don't know when the last shower happened. Don't care. So let me.
You can kind of tell if they smell disgusting.
Okay.
If their body is just sweaty and disgusting, are you going to do that? That's what I'm getting at here. Dumb bitch.
Number one, I'm not fucking smelly girls. so right out of the gate, it's like it's not getting this far if she fucking stinks. Like, that's just never happening. Number one. So number zero, even before this is not a real story. And the biggest unbelievable thing is that on a first date, some girl says, "Hey, eat my ass." That doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. So with that said, let's assume this is a real story. Let's assume this is a real story, and let's assume the hygiene was up to snuff. Fucking put on the fucking bib and go to work, you pussy. What's wrong with you? Wait, Tanner, on the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast, we eat ass. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We do eat ass, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. So, hey, be an adult and fucking go to town. Eat the ass. It's fun. It's fun and exciting.
Can we? Oh my God. I can already picture it now. He's confirmed going to name this episode Eat the Ass.
I can't, unfortunately. Otherwise, yeah. I might name the episode Put on the Bib, which is close enough. But yeah. Yeah, so don't be a pussy. And I'm glad that she got upset at you, if this is true, which it's absolutely a not true story. But if it were a true story, I would be happy she was upset with you, because you're a pussy who doesn't deserve pussy. So.
Yeah. Are we eating ass in game or is this in real life?
Oh, in real life, that's not TOS.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's what I figured. But
I'll eat your ass IRL and I'll vlog it. So just wait for Bear. So anyways, Real Tucker Carlson, disgraced Fox News host. Thank you for the question. This next one here is from Steel Switch. How did you come up with the Dropshot as the name of the pod? What other names did you run through before making your decision? Tanner.
Don't ask me. You came up with it.
Do you remember how this conversation went?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Did we have a conversation about it? Yeah, I think we did.
Not
we
really.
Did have a conversation.
So here,
I think we kind of did.
I'll refresh your memory.
You probably said, you have any ideas? And I said, no. And you said, okay, how about the drop shot? And I was like, okay. That's probably how it went.
It's literally exactly how the conversation went, yeah. I was kind of like, okay, well, we have to name the podcast. Do you have anything? And you were like, no, not really, or whatever. And I was like, how about the drop shot? That was my first idea, and it seemed good to you. It seemed good to me. So then we went with it. And here we are. So yeah, not too much went into it. Yeah, we didn't scrap any other names because this was actually the first idea we had, which I'm very happy with, by the way. I love the name. How do you feel about it?
I like it.
It's just
love's a strong word.
No, it is a strong word, and I love it. I think it's just, it's like, it's perfect. It sounds like the name of a podcast, The Dropshot.
Yeah.
You know, I just like it, dude. I just love it. I fucking love this. Do you listen to The Dropshot? I don't know, dude. I love it. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Ask your friends, do you listen to The Dropshot? If they say no, tell them about it.
Make sure you share some clips with them from the YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyways, Pritch with the 1,000 biddies for the ass eaters. Amen, dude. A fucking.
Do you want to end it on that one?
Do you?
Yeah, let's end it because the next one I feel like is a long question, and I don't feel like talking about that right now.
Oh yeah, that's a great question. And it's a long question.
You'll talk about that for literally 30 minutes. So
it's possible. So yeah. Anyways, Pritch, thank you for the 1,000 biddies, dude. Yeah. So we're gonna end it there, Twitch chat. If we did not get to your question, fret not, because we will get to it maybe next week. I kind of just want to do Q&A again next week.
We could.
So we're going to talk. We'll consider it. We'll keep that in mind. But yeah, don't worry about it. If we didn't answer your question, we will answer it again. And if you want to ask a question, join the fucking Discord and make sure you ask it. And we will get to it eventually. So it might take 6 weeks, but it'll happen. Trust me. So thank you everyone for submitting your questions. Real quick, we've got some iTunes reviews to go through. This first one is from It's MD, Best COD Podcast. Congrats to Raz and Tanner, change it, for having the best COD podcast out there. Hosting the best COD pod, you've said that 3 times, stop. Is not unlike being the tallest midget or being the smartest kid on the short bus. Believe me, I know from experience. True, there's no competition. And it's incredibly frivolous and unimportant, so fair. Anyway, these guys keep me entertained on my monotonous commute to my unbearable job, that sucks, sorry, and convince me to build a PC, which is my proudest accomplishment to date. How old are you? You should have other accomplishments besides plugging in a PC. But I'm glad you built one. Beware if you watch live. Raz has got this high def cam, and now I can see how ugly he really is. This actually broke my new monitor. Rip. Okay.
Damn.
Okay. The only reason I took time to write this review was to say follow Goated Oat on Twitch. That's one word, GOATED OAT on Twitch. I'm live every Wednesday and Friday night. So don't watch him on Wednesdays. That's when the Dropshot streams. So Goated, change your schedule. And during the weekends. I'm also not in some crap time zone like the Dropshot duo. So come join me for games before the pod. Okay, if you're before the pod, I like it. Please follow me so I can quit my job. Good luck. If I get enough followers, maybe my girlfriend will make love to me again. Okay. Anyways, Stay humble and join the fucking Discord. Well, Goated Out. I appreciate the review. Change your iTunes name. It's MD. And I appreciate the 5 stars. And once again on Twitch, that is Goated Oat. He is a big supporter of the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast in all seriousness, and I very much appreciate him. GOATEDOAT. Follow him on Twitch. And thank you, dude. Thank you for the analytics, you stupid bitch. Next one is from JManQ319. Title of this review is Get Scammed. I watch the show every day, started on episode 34, New Frog, and went from there. Catching up on later stuff now. He meant earlier stuff. I'm a decent 1.01 Andy in multiplayer in Warzone. He watches the Scuffed podcast. That's why he said Andy there, which I highly recommend you guys listen to. If you like this podcast, you will like the Scuffed podcast. 1000%. Watching gameplay breakdowns and live streams that Raz and Tanner put up have honestly helped me improve more than anything. That's fantastic. I look forward to years of binge watching and listening to this show. You will not find a better, hotter, up-and-coming gaming podcast with this much big dick energy. Massive white cock, stay humble. P.S. Raz, show us your pits. Tanner, show us what rhymes with pits, but iTunes won't let me leave in a review. Okay. I'd imagine they look like pepperonis, and they are attached to the end of your mammaries. Okay. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. We'll definitely keep that one in mind.
All right. Well, 1.0 Andy, thank you for the 5-star review. I appreciate it. This next one is the author's name is Think With Your Dipstick, Jimmy. Absolutely change it. The title of this review is Why This Pod is Doomed to Fail. Okay, interesting. Raz, I love you, and Tanner here on the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast, but I see this ship sinking. Okay, tell us more. I merely want to help you, merely, college word, read a book, and your community grow. I can no longer stand and watch the wheels come off. So for the future, Jimmy, I can no longer stand by and watch the wheels come off. Nor can I continue to watch you do a faceplant. The real reason this YouTube won't grow is because when people see your thumbnails, they say, hey, I don't want to watch this boy talk about video games. He doesn't even have a mustache. This I know for a fact is why every viewer will eventually leave. Tanner, therefore, must take up the mantle and become the face of the org, or you will be doomed to fail. Heed my words. Interesting.
Damn.
Interesting. Tanner, what are your thoughts? Are you and your dumb mustache going to be the thumbnails from now on?
I guess so. Yeah, I'm going to have to be.
Okay, interesting.
That's what the people want, so.
Interesting. Well, Think With Your Dipstick, Jimmy, absolutely change it. I will take your words under advisement. And then this last iTunes review is from Sorority Fog. The title of this review is President 2020. Hashtag Jocko for president. That is all. Thank you. Okay. Sorority Fog, change your name. Thank you for the 5 stars. I would like Jocko as a president. He'd be better than Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. 1000%. Number 1, he's not dying. And number 2, he hasn't jailed nonviolent drug offenders. So he would be a step in the right direction. Any Democrats in the chat? Yeah, hey, the Biden
you'd be in jail.
The Biden-Harris ticket is dog shit, and so is the Trump-Pence ticket. Welcome to the Red Pill podcast. They're both shit. Oops. Oops. They're both dog shit. And they're actually the same thing. Get red pilled. Any QAnon fucking members in the chat? Doesn't matter. Real quick, Damascus Impaler with the Submarino. Let's fucking go. He says up almost 300 at the casino. Fantastic, Damascus. Thank you, dude. Appreciate the sub. Appreciate you spending some of that 300 on twitch.tv/Razinon, live every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, maybe you can afford another poisonous tree frog with that money, dude. Nice. Congrats, dude.
He actually could, yeah.
He probably, maybe half of one. And Goated Oat with the 5 gifted subs. Let's fucking go. Yes. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you, Goated Oat, for the review and for the gifty boys. Honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. Thank you, Oat, for real. Much appreciated. Damascus as well. Pritch, everyone else. Very kind of you boys. Honored, humbled, and privileged, and I appreciate it. So, with that said, remember to follow me on Twitter at Razinon, Twitch, twitch.tv/Razinon, Instagram, RazinontTTV. Tanner, where can we find you?
Twitter, Tanner Dropshot, and twitch.tv/Tanner Dropshot.
If you have Amazon Prime, link it to your Twitch account and go to twitch.tv/Tanner Dropshot. Give my boy a Twitch Prime sub. Costs you nothing. It is included in the price of your Amazon Prime subscription, which you're already paying for. Let's money launder from Jeff Bezos. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes. If you write a review with your rating, I will read it on the podcast, no matter what you write. And tell your dumb fuck friends about us. Go to the YouTube, go to the Dropshot clips section, find your favorite clip, copy the link, paste it into a message to one of your dumb fuck friends, and tell them, hey, check this out. If you like the clip, subscribe to that YouTube, and then subscribe to them on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts, so that the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, hosts can quit their shit 9-to-5 jobs and provide more content. It is your prerogative. It costs you nothing. Annoy your friends. This isn't a multi-level marketing scheme. I'm not asking you to fucking extort money from your friends by selling them a water purifier. But I am asking you to harass them with clips of the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast. Again, sub to me on YouTube, the Dropshot on YouTube. You can search Razinon or the Dropshot podcast, and you will find us. I'm close to monetizing on YouTube, which would be both fun and exciting, and it would allow me to quit my shit 9-to-5 job and give you guys more content. Full episodes of the podcast with video are on the YouTube, as well as the clips that I just mentioned, and gameplay breakdowns, which are not in the RSS feed. So if you've never been to the YouTube, you've never seen or listened to or watched a gameplay breakdown. So make sure you follow me on YouTube. Smash the sub button. We also have a merch store. You can find the links to that in the show notes. We have a bunch of absolutely fucking fire merch. Clothes, phone cases, bandanas, dog bandanas, onesies, more. Click the links. Join the fucking Discord, of course. That's how we get our Q&A questions. You can also just talk to us about whatever the fuck you want. You can find a squad of kids to run with. You can ask questions, post fire memes. It is the community hub of the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast.
Smoked meats.
We can talk about smoked meats. There is going to be a smoked meats channel where you can see pictures of exquisitely smoked meats. So join the fucking Discord. And then consider joining our Patreon. Patreon.com/thedropshot. One word. Bonus episodes and much more. Go to the patreon.com/thedropshot for details. And lastly, special thanks to our Damascus patrons. Godado, Joshua V, Mr. Salmonella, Jay Pritch, Slivovitz, Jake Dub, Zerosio Rainman, Sandstoner, Tequila Sir Rockingbird, Face Esquire, Gift Curse, Adam H, Mr. Matt Dad, Sniff Sniff Hambone, change it, Jimmy M, Von Trapp, Aussie Menace, I Swear She Was 18, Razino Sus, and last but certainly not least, our one and only Obsidian patron, the one and only, the Dropshot Patriarch, the Vaping Viking. Thank you, boys. For all of the subs, the gifted subs, the bits, the follows, the fucking whiff. I'm honored, humbled, and privileged, and I appreciate all of the support tonight. Boys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did and as much as Tanner did. Have an excellent evening. And as always, of course, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.